everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Hutchins and I'm broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. Our charity of the month is Food for Life Global, so please help me help them by just watching my stream because I'm going to make a donation at the end of this month based on my unique viewers count here on Twitch, so bring your friends too. All you have to do is hang out here with as many people as you can bring. You'll be helping me help Food for Life Global, who helps feed hungry people, people in need, and they do it with plant-based meals, which means they're also helping animals, so it's like a 2-for-1 kind of thing. Today is Wednesday, which means it's time to work on illustration. I am working on this Birthday Gryphon's piece. Before I explain any more, though, I want to make sure my stream is actually working because it did not update here on my stream manager on Twitch, so give me a second. Let's refresh that. Okay, wonderful. And my bitrate is good right now. Yay! I haven't been able to really do anything new to fix the recent bitrate problems, but they're a mystery to begin with, so hopefully they have just disappeared by now. Okay, so this illustration is so close to done. Well, not done. No, nowhere near close to done. We are almost done with this step, which is we had the original main full-size sketch, transfer that onto some tracing paper by tracing, then used graphite on the back side and smoothed that out, and now we're drawing on top of it, tracing it once again to get the lines to transfer onto this sheet of watercolor paper. So all we have left is, oh, it's hard to manage this. This is so big with my little small streaming space. My streaming space seems so big when I'm doing a chibi. When I'm doing a 10 by 7 image, it seems so small. Anyway, all that's left is this corner. So it shouldn't be too long before we move on to watercolor. So I have all my watercolor stuff prepared, including, that's what this is, my huge palette of colors. But first we got to finish this tracing. So I was using this sheet of just scrap printer paper to cover the areas that I'm working on that I don't want to smear with the side of my hand. So that's what I've got that for. This is my little drawing kit, my favorite drawing kit, and I've been using this pen to do this. So let us begin. We just have this little bit left. So this banner on the top and this griffin in the background, the branch that the griffin is standing upon, and I need to remember this little stuff. This little background stuff also needs to be done. And then everything in the front right here also needs to be done. So I guess we'll just start right here. I misremembered what I usually use for the first trace. I used graphite this time, which is why I need this sheet of paper. I realize now I must be using the black. So this is a 3-color pen. I must be using the black previous times because I like to use the red at this point, so that you can tell which lines have been traced really easily. You can sort of tell just by looking at the indent on the tracing paper, but it's not very consistent. It's not a consistent way of ascertaining whether you have done a line or not. But I misremembered. I tried to check even, and I still got it wrong. So it's tough because the red is not working at all. It's not working on graphite, which makes sense because graphite is like little particles of graphite mineral and it blocks up the pen tip. Happily, it doesn't seem, so like over here, it doesn't seem like it's completely ruined it as long as I work it out. Well, maybe it's completely ruined it by now. It was fine before. Oh well. Maybe I have to get a new insert. Dang! But anyway, now I know. I wrote on the corner, don't use graphite to trace. So, oh, Exie is here. Hello! How are you? Yay! Oh, how am I doing? Ah, I'm doing great. It's been so warm recently. It's like the seasons are always ahead by like a couple months ever since December. Because December we had like early spring kind of weather. And now it's like early summer or late spring weather. It's like, I don't know, about 25 degrees Celsius and almost 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the sun right now at my house, on the thermometer at my house. So I'm actually doing great because it's so refreshing, and all my plants are starting to get the little buds and the leaves are growing. So I'm like looking out my window over here and I'm seeing all of the greenery coming in, and it's so exciting. So I'm doing great. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. So glad to hear you're doing well. Bit busy. Is it a good kind of busy, like work? Busy can be good, can be stressful, but it can also be exciting, or at least take your mind off of other things. That's something I've noticed for me, is that if I have work to do that is meaningful to me, then it really helps with any negative thoughts I might have about some other thing, you know? Oh, good. Yay! Awesome! Is it like a project or like a commission or something? I mean, you don't have to tell me, obviously. You can just say as much as you feel comfortable. I just like to chat, which you probably know by now, so. Right. For some reason right here, I keep getting worried that I'm missing lines, so I keep looking, but I gotta trust myself. I've done everything until this little garland here. I keep being worried that I missed the lines on top, like these feathers, but then I look and they're there, so trust in my past self, me. I gotta take another sip of my tea. Since it is so warm today, I made iced tea. The ice is gone now, but I made iced tea and it's so yummy. For me, I like iced tea to be sweet, so I put a little 0-calorie sweetener in it. Tastes delicious. For hot tea, I like it just the tea. I don't want anything in it. But for iced tea, I think it's because of my Southern heritage, Southern American heritage, the sweet tea thing. I grew up with that. Especially making sun tea. And then you put like a ton of sugar in it. So I don't have that all the time. But that's the flavor I like when it gets hot. Okay, did I get everything around here? I'm looking for any missed lines. I think I've got everything there. Oh, here's a couple that I need to do right here. Okay, sweet. Oh, commission's awesome. Oh, nice. Is it someone different? Like, you've shown me some that you've done for music people before. Oh, be right back. Okay. I'll wait until you get back. I'm sipping the tea. It's so delicious. So yummy. It's the same birthday cake tea. We're down to one last serving of birthday cake tea. Okay, I'm thinking about whether I want to do this next or do this stuff next. And I'm kind of leaning toward this. That way it will just be this little section that's left. So, done everything for that griffin and up to this leaf here. So, we'll just carry on here. Keep moving the page that's keeping me from... Uh-oh, my little drawing kit's trying to run away. Oh, now I lost my place. Oh, I think I just did that one. blast it all. Okay. And I did block up my pen. It was fine last time, but I guess it was too much this time. Or maybe if I keep working it out of the tip, it will clear up. I love this pen too. I've been using it since school. So I've had it for years. I started using it when I began my onomatopoeia animal series, which is still being worked on. That's something I'd like to add to. I want to do as many as I can illustrations of the Japanese English animal onomatopoeia, and then see if I can get them published in a book. So there's still quite a few animals left to do. And this pen is the one that I've used the whole time for my... I have a book specifically for that project, and I use this pen in it. But like most Japanese pens, I'm sure this has replacement ink refills, so I'll just be able to get a new red one if it comes to that. Almost done with this little tangle of branches. Oh, I missed the bottom part of this. And I don't think I did this one either. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Let's keep going. Now this leaf. And the next leaf. And there's a few little lines here I don't want to miss. They're so small, it would be really easy to keep moving forward and forgetting that they're there. Woo! Okay. So I'll move from big to small because it's bigger closer to the viewer here. Last leaf in the front, I believe this is. And again, lots of small lines here, so I want to be very attentive. Try not to miss any in between the leaves here as well. Alright, and we're just moving into nothing but little tiny lines crisscrossing here because it's the nest. It's the stick part of the nest. And I think I didn't get this. Oh, and there's a leaf in the background going on top of a stick. This stick goes on top of the leaf. Ooh, okay, you gotta have a lot of focus. Okay. I think I'm getting them all. It's also so small now that it's hard to keep my eyes looking at it. To keep them physically looking at it and focused. I have to think about when I'm gonna blink. Okay. Did I get those already? I think I did. Okay, I see them. Alright, here's these little leaves in the background. This is another leaf too. And there's a stick. Okay. This is so intense. It's hurting my upper back. Almost done. Okay. Actually gonna stretch for a second. Stretch my, it's like my trapezius muscles. Getting all tense. Focusing. Also, the light shines on this in a way that I have to tilt my head to the side in order to see it. Otherwise, it's all shiny. And you can't see the details. Can't really see the lines. Okay. We are almost out of this little mess of sticks and leaves. Oh, I can hear some gulls outside. I have my window open today. That's how warm it is. That even in the basement, so I am in the basement, and I have been all sweaty since I think yesterday was when the temperatures started to get warm enough in the afternoon that even the basement is warm without the window open. But it's still pretty cool in the shade. So I have a thermometer in the shade at my house, and it was like 15 degrees cooler Fahrenheit, because it's a Fahrenheit only thermometer. So it was like 60, 15 to 20 degrees less. So anyway, opening the window is all you need to do to cool it off in here. Because this window faces, it faces northish. So by now the sun is on this side of the house, so it's pretty cool. The air coming in from this side is pretty cool. Looking for any missed lines now. Especially in this big tangle here. So it's way better if you can catch it now and get the line on through this same method. In the past, I've missed one, or missed multiples. I can't remember how many times it's happened, but if you draw directly on this watercolor paper with a graphite pencil, it will not look the same as this transferred graphite line. It'll look a lot darker and sort of stand out in not a good way. So that's why I like to take the time to look for any little missing lines while I'm still applying the graphite this way. Oh, so close to done. All we need is this griffin here. top line of this branch. And the griffin is nice and simple because it's so far away into the background. So very, very easy to get these lines down. My drawing kit's trying to run away again. It's because I set it on this like slick folder that I got out because I'm gonna put this, well, maybe not this, but I'm gonna put this in when I'm done with it. But the material is not allowing this to stay put. Let's see, where can I put it that it will? So stick it up there. There. This nice grippy tabletop. Now it shouldn't run away. Real quick though, I just want to see if I can save my red pen or if it's just totally I'm so sad. It was okay last time. The red ink came back last time. Not anymore. If I lick it. I finally understand now why in old movies people would lick their pens when they weren't writing. It works maybe with ball pen and gel pen and stuff, but it actually works really well on fountain pens, which in those old-timey movies is what they would have. So, because I learned that myself, and sometimes just the tip gets dry, but the ink is still viscous, or the ink is still wet, but it can't come out because the tip is. But licking it only really works to get a little bit of ink to come out, plus you get ink on your tongue usually, and it doesn't taste good, so I don't really recommend that, even though I still do it sometimes when I'm just desperate to get it to go. But it's not that useful for me. Yeah, I think this is done for. I'm gonna have to buy another red pen tip. Blast it all. Like a tiny bit of red is coming out so that it's tinting the paper. Anyway, if you have a fountain pen and it's not working, I say run it underwater in the sink. That's what I do if I am patient enough to get up, because usually I'm like trying to write in my journal or something, so I'm all set up and I don't want to like get up and put everything away, so that's why I lick the pen to try to get the ink to come out. Don't recommend it though. Doesn't work very well anyway. Alexi is back. Hello! I love that little kitty coming in there. Wee, 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 wee. It's so cute. What the heck? What is this one called? I love these. I love seeing everybody's. Hi! Oh, it's so cute. Welcome back. Oh, I wanted to ask. Is it so I don't think the person or band you made stuff for most recently that you showed me was a DJ, right? This is a different person? I'm just curious. I see a line that I missed. Right in between feet. And I did not get the tips of these nails here very well. There, now they're on there. Oh, this part of the foot right here. And the curve of the top of the foot. Even though this griffin in the background is so simple, I missed quite a bit of lines. Quite a few lines. Correcting my grammar there. Alright. Let's see. I'm going to try to get that one in there better. Oh, that's better. That line was just a bit faint. Oh, it is the same person. Ah, nice. Nice. You're gonna have this nice body of work done for the same person, so it's... I think it looks so nice. That's why I always end up making series of stuff, because it looks so nice when you have lots of different things and it's like all under the same category, or I don't know. I imagine it's gonna be all purple again. Or maybe it's not purple, maybe it's a different color. It's like some cool animations and stuff. I'm still just looking around for any lines that I missed. I'm going to make this one a little bit darker. Ah, that's better. Cupcake in the front looks so good. I'm so excited. I'm gonna make cupcakes for my Lord of the Rings birthday marathon. I got it all set up now. I invited people. I calculated how long the movies are, and I picked a main meal and a dessert for each day to make. And on the last day, it's gonna be chocolate peanut butter cupcakes. I think I got everything. This right here, there's a line that doesn't really connect to anything, so I'm just going to add a little extra. Bring it down so that it's connecting and not just being a leaf floating in the middle of the air. Ah, I gotcha. Well, thank you for being respectful of the channel. Oh, blue teal. I really appreciate that about everybody who comes into my chat and is on the Discord. It's respectful of the environment that I try to create here. That is still cool, though, that you're building up the whole like portfolio of work working with this DJ. Do you ever get feedback about like how it was received at the, I don't know what you call it, a show? You call that a show? Okay. I think I've got everything. I guess I'll check the most important parts, the faces. One last check on the faces. Because if I'm missing a line somewhere, I can just fill it in later, but making sure the faces have everything they need is probably a good idea. Oh yeah, there is a line missing on the face. I'm glad I checked. This part of the beak, there were so many lines around it and I missed that. Yay! I'm so glad. It was worth it to be looking at this whole time. Any more faces missing key parts? I don't think so. Did I get the tongue on there? Yes, I did. Alright. Yay! Time to remove the tracing. Oh, and I gotta get... Maybe I will use this scratch paper. So I need a piece of paper to put on the back of this so that it doesn't get anything else dirty with graphite when I store it away. So, yes, this paper will be a part of my collection of stages for this. So I'm just going to line it up like this and bend the tape over. Oh, okay. They're mostly for social media. I gotcha. Well, I hope they're having a positive effect. At the very least, that the DJ must enjoy them because they keep asking you to make more. Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yep, I have learned lots of little tips and tricks for this method. For how to get a clean transfer. Because I've done stuff by accident by like, I don't know, pushing my hand too hard or something, and then there's like a big graphite smudge, or like, that's why I don't use charcoal and all this other stuff. So thank you, thank you. Alright, so we're done with this part, this transfer part, and then it's got this paper on the back so that this graphite that was used for the transfer will no longer transfer to anything that I don't want it to. So I'm just going to slide that in there with all the other things I've collected, like the thumbnail sketches, the final full-size sketch, etc. Now I'm just going to put this folder over here, and then this can come back where I wanted it, and it shouldn't slide down. Since I need a new pen, I don't need a new pen. And in fact, there might be a way I can clean this out. So I'm just going to leave this pen out of my sketching kit so that I remember after the stream, hopefully, to look into either just buying a new ink. So what do you call that? Like an ink replacement? Or if I can clean out the graphite, but I doubt it because I used it for this whole thing. So I doubt it. But now it's time. I have all my stuff here. Water. It's time to start watercolor. Yay! Let's see. I got so many sizes of brushes, but the one I want right now is this one. 1 inch. What is this? Wash brush. Because that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do a color wash on here. That means I need to adjust my monitor over here real quick. Let's see if I can see this cursor over here. And then, so I need my reference images to get some ideas of the colors that would be in these scenes. So I'm seeing a lot of sort of grass green and this is just like a nice light green from whatever kind of plant this is. And what about this one? Oh, this is the same picture. Okay. And this cormorant is in water, flapping about. So they're fisher birds. But the water itself is actually green. So I guess green. These are really different environments in all these reference images I'm looking at. But they're all quite green. So let's do a green. I'm thinking about whether I want to add a little touches of brown for the trees that I'm seeing. Oh, hello! L-U-K. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Or L-Yo-Ki. Yeah, Watercolor Day. Welcome, welcome. Hello, so good to see you. First time chat. I'm actually literally about to start. So I just decided what color I am going to put down. Oh, I guess I'll hold this up. It's not very easy to see. Oh, I just realized my overhead light is on. Let me turn that off because that way I won't cast a shadow. So much of a shadow. L-U-K. Okay. L-U-K. Got it. L-U-K. How are you? Thank you for joining me. Okay. Oh, wait. I just got confused. I wanted to show this up. So we just got done transferring all these lines with graphite backed tracing paper. So now we're going to wet the entire page so that we can do a nice green wash. And I was thinking about adding some brown because there's also trees, but a lot of these trees are just like white because either they're bleached dead trees or that's just the color of the trees. So I think I'll just stick with green, and I'll do several different greens, I think. Oh, that's fine. I'm so happy that you're here at all. So awesome. Yay. Welcome. Have you ever been to my stream before, or is this your it said first time chat, but I appreciate all of my lurkers, so I wonder if this is your first time at all, or if it's first time chatting. Of course, if any question you don't want to answer, I will never pester you. I might ask again just in case it didn't get heard though. Because now that I have a little bit more experience myself with being a viewer, or at least for me, sometimes it's hard to pay attention to the chat because sometimes I'm just chilling and sort of, yeah, chilling is the right term. And oh wait, what were they talking about? Oh well. Okay, so this is nice and damp. I might have to do a little bit more though, because I realized I did not get my palette ready. I got out my huge palette. Look at this. This is so big. This is the lid. Let's set this over here. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back several times and then chatting with me. I love chatting with people. So it's so, I am so happy whenever folks want to come in here as if we're in a room together. Come in the chat and chat with me. So I am seeing several different shades of green, but I think I'll just focus on this dark green that I have here. It's just a wash, so I don't even want it to be very intense. I'll do some dark green and I'll also do some light green. And probably, I have this one image open for reference, and the closer up stuff is the lighter green stuff. So I'm going to put the dark green in the background. Ooh, but I really want to thin this out though. It's just meant to be a wash, so I don't want it to be too thick at all. And I'm just going to work it down. And it'll probably, when I'm done doing this, it'll probably be a good time to take my break, even if it's a bit early, because that'll be some nice time to let it dry. And it probably will not dry during the course of my little 5-minute break. So I'll get out my heat gun too. But I'm not at that point yet, so I'm gonna clean this brush out a bit and get this really light green. I guess I didn't show you this palette. I'll show you in a second. It's really nice and big. It's great for this kind of thing. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing, but start from the bottom with this light green. And just evenly apply the color and let it merge in the middle. Seems like I even want a bit more. So this light green is disappearing. Probably because it's a lighter color. The lighter colors, I mean, it makes sense. Lighter color because the paper is white. Ah, that's much better. That's a much better combination of these two colors. Now I'm just going to bring them together like this so that they're nice and combined in a very smooth transition. This is one of the funnest parts of watercoloring. It's just putting a bunch of color on the page. Not worrying about staying in the lines or anything like that. Okay, now, since these birds are black and white, I'm going to go around using a towel and suck up some of the color. Oh wait, but the babies are black. Hold on. I forgot the babies are black. Their feathers are completely black. Okay, I just only do it on the adults. So I'm bringing the color back in. There. Okay. Now, let's try this again. On the adults, let's take away this color where the feathers are white. So the head, the neck, the chest, and stomach. And it doesn't have to be precise. It just helps the overall look. Okay, and here's an adult background. And it's important to keep moving to a dry spot, and I don't always remember this myself, but you gotta move to a dry paint-free spot, otherwise you'll end up, if you get too much paint on the towel, it will start transferring back on and you'll get these weird little finger-sized dots. Another place where I want to take away color is these flowers, because they're white. And in the background there's lots of these. Alright, where else? Where else do I want to dab away some of the background color? There's a little black piece of something on here. There, got that off. What kind of birds? They are little pied cormorants. They live in, what was the term? Australasia. So like Indonesia and New Zealand, Australia, all those, that huge area of the world. And I combined them to make griffins using another animal that's sort of from that area, the tiger quoll, which is the only extant marsupial predator. So that's what they are on the back. You can't really tell because the back part is, you can hardly see, but you can see the tail part sticking out of the tiger quoll area. The tiger quoll half. Yep, they're normally fishers. They eat fish and crustaceans and probably other stuff. Can't remember if it said they eat bugs, but right now they're eating birthday cupcakes. So they're enjoying some fish-flavored birthday cupcakes, perhaps. What else? Anything else? I think just the white feathers and then the white flowers is all I need to remove anything from. And it's not even like I have to remove it, but I think it does help to, how can I say this? I like to have the overall color united by this wash in the background, but to make this look like white feathers, I feel like it should be lightened up a bit. Okay, so I guess I'll hold it up real quick. It's still quite wet. Maybe you can see, the camera's not picking up the color very well, but you can see the difference between the white paper and the wash being applied. So this just needs to dry, and then we'll just start doing the base layer of color for everything. Oh, I remember what I wanted to show you real quick too. Hold on. Let me set this like this. The paper is warping because it's wet. So I'm trying to get it to at least be the same warp. It was going like a M. So now it's just like this. Here's my giant watercolor. Here's my hand. So this thing is quite big. I set this up when I did my really big Gankutsuo fan art painting. And I've loved using it ever since for anything that's really big, or when I remember when I'm doing a big wash like this, because it's just so much easier to use this size of brush in this size of well versus what I like to use for everything else on a painting like this is this this size, so way smaller. You can barely even get this in there for this. But this is the one I'll switch to when I come back from a break. Alright, so I'm going to leave this here. I'll put my little be right back sign. I'm going to take my break early so that this can have some time. I'm trying to figure out where can I put my be right back where it's visible but not on the wet paper. There. Okay, just a 5-minute break. I'm just going to go stretch and rest my eyes and walk around. I hope everybody else will do the same thing. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you're all back too and you had a great break. So I'm gonna turn my volume up because I turn it down so it's not a huge surprise when I come back. No jump scares. Oh, hold on, my little dog Chappie decided to come back down. Morning, girl. Good girl. Go in your bed. Go on. She was blocking my way to my chair. Yeah, good girl. She's all tucked up, all small. You know how they tucked up their hands like this. All right, let's see if this is dry. Okay, it's not quite dry. It's still a little damp. So I got my handy dandy heat gun. Yay! So I've just got to plug this in, and I will definitely mute my mic while I use this because it's quite loud. Okay, excuse me, Chappie. Just gonna plug this in above you. She's like, no! Don't touch me with that cord. She got entirely up out of bed. Okay, so I just moved this little rest thingy down. And now I shall mute my mic and dry this painting. Okay, I think that's enough. It's maybe perhaps a tiny bit damp still, but you can't use the heat gun forever because it starts to overheat. In fact, it already has a kind of smell to it. And I'm just going to, I got it unplugged, I'm going to just set it, oh, where can I set this to let it cool? Oh, I'll set it on my scanner. And the cord can go in here. So I don't want to put it away when it's this hot. All my drawers are plastic, so I don't want to accidentally melt a hole in my drawers. I don't think it would be that extreme, but it might warp the plastic or something. Okay. Oh yeah, like it's 99% dry. So we are ready to move on to the next thing, which I think will probably be, so with watercolor, I was taught and I find that it's best to start with light colors first and then go to dark colors. if I were, for instance, to put the black watercolor down for all these feathers that are black, the wings and the babies are all black where they have feathers, and then the wings and backs and the tails of the adults also, there's a very high likelihood, because I've done it before, that if I paint something next to that, it will pull that black pigment into somewhere where I don't want. So the lightest thing is probably the sticks making up the nest. So that's where I will start with laying down just base color, no shading or anything, just laying down the base color. Okay, I gotta set this big palette. I'm not gonna use the big palette, I'm gonna use a small palette now. Get out my nice little small palette, yay! Where do I want to put this? Right here? It's always a bit of a struggle to get this to fit in my little workspace here. Okay, push that back. And there, that can go there, and my little mixing area can come down. I'm just trying to make sure it's actually on the screen for everybody too. So scoot over a bit. Alright. And then I don't need this anymore. I need to wash it later. Sticks. And probably these branches. It's a very light brown. Like, even the trees they stand on in a lot of these reference images seem to be dead wood. So it's in fact not even really brown. It's more like gray with little hints of brown where there's still the brown of the tree left. So let's mix a really gray. So a really gray with maybe a little touch of brown in it. And my instinct is always to mix white with black watercolor, but oh look, there's even some brown right here. I'll just bring it right in there. Yay! But I've actually found it looks better to my eye to just really thin out some black paint. Because the white gives it a sort of pastel look, like it's gray pastel instead of just gray. This color is very, very, very light that I'm seeing in the reference images. So I'm going to, let's start from the top down, because here's some branches in the background that would be pretty easy to get. I'm just going to start with putting some water down, and there is some pigment still left in here. So maybe even that's enough. It really is such a light color. A watercolor dries lighter. I think that's because, you know how when you get a piece of paper wet it looks gray? I think that's why. Because some of the darkness comes from the fact that the paper is wet and it's not actually from the pigment. So hopefully this will dry nice and light. If not, we'll just imagine that it's a darker gray branch. Not the end of the world. Tap a little bit, you get a lot of water. Little bit of pigment, a lot of water. This is also just the base layer of color. And since we're working light to dark, we won't be adding highlights, except for maybe at the end with little scraping or with a little white gouache. But in general, it's adding shadows. So that's another reason why I want it to be quite light. Feeling really good about this. I'm going to be sending a work in progress update of this piece as my Patreon rewards this week, and I was waiting for however far I could get today is what the work in progress that I send out will be. It's sent out on postcards. There's also prints available, but no one's signed up for prints yet. So with an hour left to go, I think we can make some really nice progress. So I have something really, really nice to send out. This is something new I've started this year, sending out a work in progress if I don't have the complete new illustration yet. And then that way, patrons can compare and see this is what it looked like, and then this is what it looks like finished. So it's just, I just have to accept that the way I do illustration, I can't get one of these done. Because I'm not just doing illustration, I'm doing so many other things. My biggest project is actually writing a novel, which I will be illustrating, but that is like, there's nothing to show people for that right now. It's just, I'm on the final chapter of the first draft, so there's plenty of rewriting and editing and all kinds of stuff to do, so like there's nothing I can show for it yet. So I like to get illustrations done in the meantime. It's also really good practice. So I want to illustrate the novel once it's ready, but the story has to be done first. I need the story there so that I can illustrate the story. So there's just not enough time. Not enough time to... I think if I was doing illustrations and nothing but illustrations, I could probably get a couple done a month. Especially now that I started live streaming their creation. It's been so awesome. So awesome getting this done. Okay, so this is going to be confusing. What is branch and what is leaf? Okay. This is a branch. Once I color them, once I watercolor them, it should start getting a lot easier to tell. This is always a little bit of a, not stressful, but it's just really requires a lot of attention. It's easy to make a mistake. So like this is a leaf, this is a leaf, this is a branch. And later I'll have to decide what to paint in between these branches, whether it's greenery because of leaves showing behind, or if it's just dark shadowiness, which I think is also probably going to be a good idea. So where the branches are meeting and weaving amongst one another, I think it makes sense that it would be shadowy. Oh, it's so confusing. What's branch and what's not branch? And I am very happy with how these are drying too. Yeah, it's so light. Looking at the camera to see what it looks like on the screen there. Yep. It is the light gray that I wanted. This is just really, really thinned out gray with a little touch of leftover brown from the previous projects. Here I've got to be careful. Some of this is nest that's being stood upon, and some of it is the griffin's arms and feet. Arms, hands, and feet. So that's all feet right there. Alright, keep moving. Got a huge range of brushes prepared. But I'm using this like right in the middle size of all the ones that I grabbed. It's working out really well so far with the size of these branches, and it's still able, this is why I love round brushes, because it's still able to get fairly small lines with the sticks and the branches that are in the background and much smaller. I wonder if it's because the environment is so green. The environment is like green and gray. And I wonder if that's why I keep imagining the cupcakes being like a really bright, vibrant green, and the hats too. The party hats. Yeah, maybe green will be the theme of the card, the overall color scheme. Which is a little bit ironic because I was trying to go for something quite different from the last Birthday Gryphon card I made, which featured a Pacific Northwest inspired mountain forest scene. This I thought would be very different, but nope, it's the same kind of colors. Lots of green. The other scene was at night, so that's different. This I imagine being in full daylight. I can still feel that 1% dampness of the page every time I put my hand down, and I'm like, oh no! But it doesn't seem to be causing a problem. If you put your hand down when it's very wet still, especially like from a wash, it can pull your hand itself can pull the color up. But I don't think that's happening here. Hearing the gulls again. Trying to paint branches all the way across. If they continue across the page, I want to continue painting them even though there's an interruption like a leaf or another branch. Then that way the color will seem consistent across the branch. That'll help the viewer understand that this is one branch coming across, and it's just a subconscious thing and not expecting people to be like, oh, is this branch connecting to here or whatever, but I think it just helps the overall ease of gazing at the piece. Brush is getting a bit dry. Yeah, I need a bit more pigment as well. Adding the wash underneath for me is the same effect as what I do later at the very end of the piece, which is put an overlay using Photoshop. So I have an underlay and an overlay, so I can really make my pieces very colorful. That's what I like. I like colorful artwork. I like making colorful artwork. Oh, I missed this branch coming up here. well, let's do what we can. Oh, yeah, need a little bit more pigment. And then it's coming down here as well. Ah, it's already looking nest-like. Ah, so exciting. So exciting. Okay, so I continued on down here, but there's still some branches that they're standing on this side to do. So I gotta make sure what is the fingers of this griffin's hand and what is sticks. It's so nice. The more color that's added, the more clear the image becomes. Alright, I think I got all the main sticks over there, so let's keep moving this way. Oh, here's these ones up here. We'll do these ones up here too. So nice. I had my window open the other day and there was all kinds of construction or something going on. But it's relatively peaceful outside today. There's some sort of like far off beeping noise or something, but it's so far away that it's just like a little bit of background noise, and otherwise it's just sort of the sound of the air. Boom! Next, this little section, which is totally visually confusing right now, but we'll sort that out soon enough. So what is stick? What is leaf? This is a stick. Well, I guess there's sticks, leaves, and yet to be determined space. I'm also trying to work in a way that allows a little bit of drying time between branches so that branches that intersect have a little bit of dry time so that the colors don't merge and make it look like it's one branch. I can't always get that without just stopping, but if I strategically choose which branch to work on next, then it at least helps a bit. Gives it a few seconds to start drying. It's so nice. So nice that it's becoming less visually confusing. I have not seen any footage or read anything about how these the little pied cormorants actually build their nests. It's just about what they make them out of. But they seem very messy, so I imagine that they just sort of keep piling sticks up. It's definitely not a sort of carefully woven precious little nest like a small bird would make. I mean, these are called little pied cormorants, but they're still cormorants, so they're like, I don't know, at least the size of ducks. They're not like little wrens or sparrows or something. So it seems like they're just like, here's another stick, and here's another one, here's another one. Till they have enough sticks, and they're like, heck yeah, that's good. What a great nest we built. It's just like a complete mess, but it works for them, so. Ooh, it keeps being so tempting to think that this is a branch right here, but actually it's a leaf with a line in the middle for that little, whatever, I forgot what it's called. There's a name for that little line down the middle of a leaf that grows out like this. Anyway, it's about the same thickness as these branches, like here and here. So I keep being like, oh, let's paint that. Whoa, no, that's a leaf. That's a leaf. We're getting into some really teeny tiny stuff here. I'm just using the barely tippy tip of the brush. I guess the next things will be the leaves in the branch, or the leaves in the nest. They are not all green because they're put in with building the nest, so they dry out and they become brown. Well, like a really light cream color. Actually, it's more like a, well, look in a second. Look at the reference of the nest, but it's almost the same color as the branches. Now I'm looking to see, I guess this is this branch coming out like this. Oh, this was the stem of this leaf. Okay, I understand. Well, now that's a branch right there. Wow, is that all the branches? This is a leaf. This is a leaf. This is a flower, and another one, and another one. Just a little petal right here. This is a foot, and another foot, and another foot. Yay! Leaf time! Ooh. I like the idea of these leaves on the top being freshly applied. So the ones that are higher up, I'm going to do a little bit more green. For the ones below, let's do a yellow a really thin yellow, just like with the gray. So I'm gonna pull some of this color off and put it on my towel, and then add a bunch of water. So this is going to be my dried leaf color. Yeah, I even drew this one all wilty on purpose because it's drying out. And this is another leaf. I decided to have two leaves stacked on top of each other right here. So that's more natural. It doesn't make sense for the leaves to always be perfectly spaced, especially in a sort of haphazard kind of nest like this. Okay, I'm going to move to a smaller brush for all these smaller leaves. In fact, I'll go to my smallest one. Give me a second, I'm going to take a drink. My voice is getting all crackly. Welcome back! Yay! Oh, that's okay. I'm always just happy to see you as long as you want to be here. Welcome back! Maybe it looks like quite a bit of... Oh! Oh, thank you! Yeah, I love this, this brown color. It even looks pretty nice. I mean, you said nice things about it, so it must look pretty nice on the camera. I've found in the past that a lot of times what I'm seeing with my naked eye, there's a little hair on here, doesn't quite get caught on the camera, but this is looking fairly similar. What I'm seeing over here versus what I see in person, it's pretty close. Thank you, thank you. This is so fun. It's very relaxing right now, just adding. I just have to make decision about the color and then just add it. It's quite a relaxing part of the process. So now it's time to go in the back. I just have to make sure about stuff like this leaf is still fairly wet, so I would make sure to put my hand far enough forward. Man, I think I gotta get a different brush. This one's tip is not coming together anymore. Yeah. Look at this. Even though it's wet, it's... Oh, you can't see. It's not focusing. Oh. There. Well, I think you can see how it's just sort of splayed. It's not coming together, even though it's wet. So I think this brush needs to go in my little, I will use it for other stuff, bin. Like applying glue or something. Give me a second to get another one. I have so many paint brushes because of Art Snacks boxes and other other things where I got paint brushes. Just have to get in the closet and get them. Alright, looking for a relatively small round brush. How about this one? See if this one wants to work. There we go. That's pretty good. Alright, gotta move my stuff around. Oh, I gotta look out for Aoife because she's laying her head right where I could roll it over with my chair. Alright. Oh, that's much better. So look at this. Now that I've got this one and I got it wet and they're sticking together all nice. Yay! So there's not very many leaves left to do with this yellow. Just doing the ones that are lower in the nest because they will have been sitting there and getting dry compared to the ones on top. Which they, perhaps for the birthday event, they refreshed the nest with some new leaves at the top. That's what I'm imagining. This still isn't the best brush. It's still got a few little hairs sticking out. Dang it. Dang it. Okay. That other one was just awful though. There. Alright, any other leaves that I want to do yellow? I think everybody else is sticking up nice as far as the leaves are concerned. So, rinse this brush out. I'm actually going to leave it a bit damp and then pull the bristles together so that hopefully they will dry and reform to the shape that I want. So let's just set that there. Alright. So now I'm going to add some green to the brown that we already have. And I'll go back to this larger brush for these larger front leaves. These leaves are nice and fresh. Oh, let me look at the reference for, okay, so they got a lot, at least in this reference image. Of course, the lighting just depends on the day and all this kind of stuff. Oh, and there's a little bit more brown on that tree. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to add this really nice bright green. And then later we'll add some dark green when we're adding shadow and mixing more colors on top of the base colors. Ooh, this is nice. A little bit more green though. So it's toned down a little bit by the brown, but it's still nice, vibrant, like fresh growth looking spring green. Okay. And I'll do the big leaves first. And this one's underneath, but I decided to leave it green because it's got the more perky shape, like it's still hanging in there. Yeah, man, these colors are looking good, really good on top of the green wash we put down. make sure to get it all the way to the edge. With this really light color, it's easy to miss that and not quite get it all the way colored in. Especially since that background color is very similar to this. Okay, foreground green leaves done. Rinse the brush. Go back to this little one. Hopefully it'll still maintain this nice shape. Just tackle all of these background leaves that haven't been colored yet. Also super easy now because I don't have to think about which leaves do I want to be green, because the answer is all the rest. My hand is starting to get tired. About 25 minutes to go. Come on, hand, you got this. Not all of them in that corner? I think so. And then there's just a few over here. Oh man, I'm gonna have to like use the massager on my trapezius muscles. They're so tense doing this. I love how this color looks on the palette with the background of, it's like been stained, the plastic of the palette has been stained with previous colors, and it looks really good with all these little overlaying green and blue, and there's like blue in the background, there's also some pink in the background, and the green on top. Looks really nice. And it's just my palette, just the mixing area. Okay. Yay! Okay, rinsing the brush. And once again, leaving it a little bit damp and shaping the tip to help it learn how to keep that shape. What next? Maybe the yellow in the middle of these flowers. Now, the reference I had for that is on my phone, so give me a second. Where is it? Should be under downloads or something. Download? No? Where's that picture of flowers? pictures. Ah, it's here. I'm gonna move these other pictures out of the way. So these are Pikmin photos, and this is a Garmin photo. Okay. There, now this is at the top so that I can find it easy next time. Here's that flower. It seems like one big flower with little tiny flowers coming out of it. I haven't looked too much into what this flower is. I just mostly wanted the shape. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I brought up the reference image to show you what I'm seeing. It's not that these stamen and stuff are yellow. They're actually white or perhaps a cream color. It's the area around is yellow, probably with pollen, I guess. So that's good to know. It also looks like they have little red dots on them. I never noticed that before. Interesting. Okay. So let's mix a yellow color. As I always like to do, I'll just take some yellow and put it on top of the area where I had those other colors, and then I feel like that's a nice way to make all the colors on the painting seem like they belong together, because they literally have a little bit of each other in them. But this is a quite vibrant yellow in this image, so I'm not going to add too much other stuff. I think that's good. And we just have two flowers where you can really see the inside part. And then these I'll just put a little like boop, 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 because they're so small in the background. They sort of come up the edges in between the petals. And then it fades, so I'm just going to clear my brush out and then tap some water. To bring it up. And after that, I will take my towel and dab away as well to make it a nice, subtle transition from the bright yellow of the middle to just out and then out to the white part of the petals. And this one. Okay, now doing the same thing, clearing the paint out of the brush but leaving it a bit damp so that I can drag the paint up the petals. Dragging it way farther than what it actually is. And then take a dry part of the towel and dab away. Here's how that looks. So small on the screen. I'll hold that up. Yay! And now let's just add a teeny tiny little boop of yellow to all these. These are the same flowers in the background, but super simplified because they're teeny tiny. Thank you. You're so kind. Thank you, thank you. I love painting flowers with watercolor. They look so lovely. Watercolor is really great at getting that nice, gentle, subtle look So these ones are fairly big for the background flowers, so I'm doing a little bit of dabbing here too. But these ones are super far away, so it's just going to be like a little circle. And now that there's color, it becomes even more clear that these are the same as these, which is the same as these in the background. So now that I've done this, it's still a bit bright. So let's do one little streak of a dab, boop, just to tame it a bit. Rinse this brush out. Adjust the, I'm gonna call them needles. No, the bristles. So that hopefully they'll relearn how to keep their shape the way I want. A little dab of that one. Yes. It's coming along nicely. 15 minutes to go. Let's see what would be next. Maybe the cake color. I keep imagining a yellow cake, which I think would look great with all of this other stuff. Let's look up a reference image though, so I can get, like, it's one of those things where you know what a yellow cake looks like. Yellow cake cupcakes. But when you're actually trying to imitate the color, it's really nice to have a reference. Oh, come on, y'all. I just want the yellow cupcake, not the yellow wrapper. Oh, okay, okay. Let me go into images. That'll probably help. Oh, there we go. We've got some with bites being taken out of them. So it is a different kind of color. Yellow. Like a slightly toned down version of what we used for the inside of the flowers. Let's just try mixing in some of this brown to what we already have. It is pretty bright. Oh, this is a nice color. This is a nice color. Maybe a tad bit of, oh, let's put this warmer yellow. A tad bit of this warmer yellow. Okay. I think that's good. Let's paint the cupcake. Oh, I'm getting so hungry. I'm getting so hungry. Look at this. It's already close to dinner time, and I'm painting a delicious cupcake. I have to wait 2 weekends to eat the cupcakes I'm gonna make. But maybe I can have a cupcake from somewhere before then. Looks so good. Make sure to paint high enough so the lines don't continue all the way up, but the corner is like here. So it's easy to forget and then not paint a section, and then you are trimming it digitally, trimming it down, and you're like, dang, I did not paint that corner. Well, I say you, but I mean me. And so then I have to go use the clone tool to just fill it in with Photoshop, because I've already done so much work that I'm not going to redo all of the digital work just for this little corner. But I learn every time I make a new piece, and that's one of the things that I've learned. Learn to avoid. Make sure to paint all the way into the corner. Okay, continuing on, there's only one other cupcake that's not devoured and half all over the face of the baby. So this one, I think I can use this larger brush to get it. It's a lot smaller, but the area is large enough that the tip of this brush will do. Yummy! Yummy! Yummy cupcakes! That's what this one says. Yummy! Next. Ooh, 10 minutes to go. I got my little 10 minutes buzz. Ooh. Maybe the frosting on the cupcakes. A lot of these images have chocolate frosting. But I'm imagining a green frosting. Here's a blue one. Oh. Chappie's snorting and having a dream. Well, this one has yellow frosting. But this whole time I've been imagining like bright lime green. Oh, cute. Yellow submarine. That's blue again though. Okay, hold on. Green frosting. Do another Google image search. Ah, here we go. Oh, that's opposite of what I wanted. The cake is green. No, show me this green frosting on there. Oh yeah. Oh, these look so good. It's the St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. Yummy. Oh, this is what I was thinking. Something like this. Because that's such a different green. It's still green with this mint color. This is more what I was thinking. So that it would be slightly different from what we are seeing around here. Mint has a more blue tone to it, but it's still pastel looking. Okay. Let's mix us a new color. So the base will definitely be like this bright green. Try to get a bunch of that. Okay. And some blue. Some light blue. And then since this is a pastel color that I'm going for, oh, this looks so good. It looks so good at mixing the light blue with the light green. Look at this. Ah, it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful color. But I'm going to add some white. So I was saying earlier I didn't like adding white to black to make gray because it looks like a pastel gray instead of a gray. If that makes any sense. This is a case where that's actually what I want, is a sort of pastel looking color. So adding the white will help me get that. I think it's still a little bit more blue. Of course, I only have these pigments available to me, so it's not going to be the exact same color. But I think this is nice. I think this is a good one. So let's paint, and I'm going to do my best to paint around the little sprinkles that I put on. I'm not sure what color I want those yet. Might even want to just leave them white. That'll definitely be the biggest contrast. So I'm going to try not to paint them at all. And this color is the color that'll be all over the messy baby's face. So they already finished eating and never had a cupcake before, so plus they're still a baby, so they're not that great at eating cupcakes yet. They're great at making a mess. bringing it down. I was avoiding the area right up next to the cake part because it felt a little damp still, and I don't want these colors to bleed into each other. So hopefully this is dry enough now. So far, so good. Yes. Yes. Alright, frosting on this one, and then frosting all over the baby. Because I have to avoid, I don't have to do anything. Because I want to avoid those sprinkles, I'm going to switch to the small brush for this. A little bit more water. Color isn't flowing as freely as I would like. The gulls are back. Squeak. Growing up, I only ever heard them called seagulls. So I lived a lot of my childhood in California, not too far from the sea. And then I moved up here to Idaho, nowhere near the sea. And there's tons of seagulls. They're all over the place. And I was like, okay, they're not seagulls. They're just gulls. They like to live anywhere there's water, so big river or lake. I was like, but I was only in 6th grade. No, I was in 5th grade when I moved to Idaho, so I was super confused. I was like, how are there seagulls here? It does not make sense. There's no ocean. Yep, gulls. Just plain old gulls. I've heard that in some places they're called sea mews. That's so cute. Because mew to me is the sound that a cat makes, but I guess it makes sense that the high pitch that they make kind of sounds like a mew as well. Frosting covered baby griffin. A little bit more water. Gulls sounds a bit weird though. Yep. It needs something. Lake gulls or river gulls. It needs a prefix. Also, gulls is kind of a hard word to say. It sticks in the back of your throat. Just like physically difficult to say gulls. Like gulp. Yes, I love having this bright green on here. It should look really good on the black plumage. Really stand out, and since we already have the cupcake here and here, it will be easy for the viewer to then deduce that, so that's what happened to this one. Did I get them all? Yeah, I got all the little bits. All the little bits of frosting. Good timing. We have less than a minute. Let me just hold this up. Let's see how far we got. This is also the state it'll be in, because I'm going to print Patreon rewards tomorrow before the stream. So this is the work in progress that everybody will get on Patreon. Well, everybody who has signed up for physical rewards. Yay! Coming along nicely. Another session. I think we'll be able to get the rest of the base colors down. So tomorrow, I think we can finish this off and then move on to more shading and adding more colors. There's some things like the leaves I want to add more different colors into, not just shading, but there's plenty of work left to be done. But that is it for this stream. Let's see who we're going to raid today. And let's go into Twitch. Oh, make sure my volume's down. Who is... Oh, 2 people are live. There's 2 live channels, but I think David Peterson is only live on Wednesday at the same time as me. So let's go David Peterson today. Looks like he's doing more Mouse Guard remastering. Mouse Guard is the reason why I know him. I love those comics. Okay. Give me a second. I am coming over here to my PC because it's way easier for me to raid from my PC so that I can actually chat with the person I'm raiding. I hate typing on my phone. Oh, Exie, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me yet again. It's always so great to have you here. It's like I'm hanging out with you 3 hours. I hang out with you more than I do most of my friends. Okay, I'm just gonna open another iteration Twitch. New tab so that I can raid from it. So I don't like raiding from the stream manager because then I can't be sure that it worked, and I don't like that worrying about that. So /raid. Okay, this is /raid. David Peterson. I spelled that right, I think. Okay. Raid has been created. Yay! Okay, so I will be back again tomorrow with more illustration. I hope to see you then. The raid is ready, so let's go! Yeah, awesome. It worked. So if anybody's still on my stream right now or watching the recording, that's it for me today. I'll be back again, same time tomorrow for more illustration. Thank you for watching!